first question is, which structure have both cytoplasm and cell wall? Liver cell is an animal. Okay, root hair cells. Okay, which organelle is not present in root hair cells but present in other plant cells? Yeah, not present in root cell but present in chloroplast. Good. Which statement defines a species? Species is a group of to breed fertile offspring. So answer is C. Okay, a diagram shows an experiment in which we have a partially permeable membrane and there is a starch solution. We added iodine and it has moved somewhere. So why the starch solution or suspension changed color? Exactly, diffused into the membrane. Correct. So answer is diffused in through the membrane. A. Next one is fourth one. The table shows the relative concentration of two mineral ions in a root cells and in water in the soil around the plant tissue. What is needed for the plant root to increase the concentration of mineral ions in the cell? Energy for active transport. Correct. Because जो water है that travels or moves through osmosis and mineral ions moves through active transport. Okay, some health problems can be detected using chemical tests for proteins and glucose in the urine. So glucose shouldn't be present in the urine. Healthy person do not have glucose or protein in their urine. We have discussed this earlier in the previous paper. Which row shows the result of a person with protein and glucose in their urine? Which test would be positive for protein and glucose? Okay, which test? So okay, there is a patient who is tested positive for glucose and protein. So which test give the positive test? Wait. For glucose, what do we use? For glucose, what do we use? Glucose. For glucose, we use Benedict solution. It's a reducing sugar. No, Benedict solution. So this test is negative. This one is also negative. The other two are positive. Now tell me what is the answer. No. For starch we use iodine solution. Glucose is a reducing sugar. Yes, SB. Which statement describe enzyme catalyzed reactions? Number one, all enzymes work at same pH. No. Mouth has a different pH, stomach has different. As an enzyme catalyst reaction progresses, the concentration of reactant increases. No. As the temperature of enzyme catalyzed reaction increases from 0 to 20, the frequency of effective collisions increases. Yes. Enzymes are denatured when the temperature is low. No. So the only correct answer is C. Seventh one. 20 to 0, okay, it gets denatured at high temperature, not at low temperatures. Okay. The diagrams show aphid feeding on a sugar in a leaf. So which tissues are going to be affected? Phloem. Wait. Aphid is feeding on sugar and sugar is present in phloem. Yes, 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 yes. So it's B. Upper epidermis, palisade, and then phloem. Wait, you're saying pH, temperature, temperature. Hmm. Yes, pH is different for like every enzyme, so it can get denatured at like the higher pH as well. Moreover, one more thing you must know, that is, if denaturation happens because of temperature, it is irreversible. But if denaturation happens because of pH, it can be reversible. Okay? Okay, let's move back to it. For which processes do plants need either nitrate or magnesium? Magnesium is needed for chloroplast, and nitrate is important for synthesis of proteins. So our answer would be D. Which row shows the processes involved when nitrate ions and water from soil enter a root hair cell? So nitrate ions, this we have already discussed. Nitrate ions move through active transport, and water moves through osmosis. Mm-hmm. No, 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 no. That is made from starch, that or glucose, that is in the uses of glucose. Glucose get attached to each other. There would be like lots of bonding, polymerization. Which change in condition will decrease the rate of transpiration? A decrease in air current? Yes. Yes. A decrease in humidity? No. An increase in light intensity? No. Increase in temperature? No. So the only answer is A. What are the correct definitions of digestion and assimilation? So what is the answer? B. In which which organ produces an acid that kills the bacteria? So, which acid is there? HCl. Okay, next one. The table shows the rate of absorption of two different sugars, arabinose and glucose, in living and dead intestine. Okay. If you observe carefully, the living and dead both have the same absorption for arabinose, but for glucose, the rate of absorption is different. So, what can be the reason for the absorption of arabinose or glucose? Because glucose, now they're dead cells. Dead cells mean exactly. So there won't be active transport. So answer would be C. Next one, which table shows muscle movement during inspiration? When you inhale in, your diaphragm contracts. So the external intercostal muscles also contract, because diaphragm and external, they both are same, work same. Diaphragm and external. If one relaxes, the other also relaxes. Keep this thing in mind. The external and internal are antagonistic. Next one. Which apparatus can be used to investigate the production of carbon dioxide by anaerobic respiration of yeast? This is purely related to your chemistry as well, but all the apparatus are same. So what could be the best answer for this one? What should be temperature? Okay. Yes. Just two, so that there shouldn't be any oxygen entering through it. So there should be layer of oil on it. Okay, the diagram represents the equation of aerobic respiration. So what is 1, 2, 3, and 4? So basically, wait, aerobic respiration, glucose, oxygen produces carbon dioxide and water. Please don't do this in exam. That graph shows a person's pulse rate over a period of time during which they rest, paddle and exercise bike, and then rest again. So the pulse rate comes back to normal from C to D. Okay, at what point did this person stops paddling? At point B. Which row shows the name of blood vessel that transport to and from the liver and the kidney? Okay, to the liver. Wait. Name of blood vessels to the liver. Okay, let's say hepatic artery, hepatic portal vein actually. Correct. From the liver vein to the kidney artery and from the kidney vein. What is the pathogen? Correct. Okay. Now a graph is given, and this study is related to malaria, and they have used two type of readings. One, before use of bed net, and second one is after use of bed net. So average number of bites per person per hour is given from 8 p.m. till morning. What conclusion can be drawn from the data? Okay, let's do. Mosquito bite more during the evening than after midnight? No. After midnight it's more. Use of bed nets prevent mosquito bites? No, it doesn't prevent, it just reduces. Okay. Use of bed nets had greater impacts after midnight than before midnight? Yes. The number of decreases actually. The maximum number of mosquito bite occur between 1 to 2? No, the maximum occur between like at 12. So answer, the only possible answer is C. Against which type of infection do we use antibiotics? Bacterial infections. 23 is the graph shows the antibody concentration in a child's blood over a period of time. It shows what happened to the antibody concentration after a child is vaccinated against a particular disease and after the child is infected by a pathogen. So this is vaccination, this is the antibody level, and this is when it has the active encounter, and this is active immunity basically. Okay, this one is passive, let's say. Based on graph, which statement is correct? Memory cells actually produce in passives? Yes, they get produced when you are vaccinated with the weak antigens, or so this is not passive immunity, this is also active. Exactly. Okay, which label is correct? Okay, which label shows the location of production of urea? Urea is produced in liver. Exactly, and removed by kidney. Okay, a student was asked to compare a typical spinal reflex action with a voluntary action. Okay, one is reflex and other is voluntary. Which row shows the incorrect statement? Okay, reflex action is rapid. Okay, this one is correct. So this can't be answered. Okay, initiated by the response of a receptor to a stimulus? Yes. The nerve impulse takes the longest pathway? No. Effector muscles are glands? Yes. So the incorrect statement is given over here. A person is sitting in a dark room. After 5 seconds, light is turned on. 5 seconds after that, the light is turned off again. So what would be the pupil diameter? So in darkness, the pupil diameter is going to be more. In bright light, it reduces and then again increases in. Okay, description of the body response to change in temperature are listed. Number one, atrial constrict. Wait, in hot weather. Wait, hot weather. Okay, constriction, not true. Dilation, yes. Hair erector muscles contract, no. Relax, yes. Sweat, yes. Muscle contract, no. So 2, 3, 2, 4, 5, D. Okay, the diagram shows how the concentration of glycogen stored in the liver of a human changes over time. So there comes a point when the glycogen decreases and there comes a point when it increases. Okay. In which periods the concentration of glucose in the blood is above average? Now, why is glycogen produced? Listen to me. Listen to me, I'm giving you a hint. Glycogen is produced because there is more glucose in the blood. Now tell me the answer. Where is glycogen increasing? At 3. At 5. These are the points where the glycogen is increasing. So glycogen produces only when there is more glucose in the blood. Okay? Okay, the diagram shows some seedlings grown in the light. They got bent towards the light. What can be the reason? So oxygen is not equally distributed, please. So 28. Okay, oxygen is equally distributed in 1 and 2, no. In 2 it is not equally distributed. In oxygen is equally distributed in 1, yes. Oxygen is distributed equally in 2, no. Oxygen is not distributed equally in 1, no. So the only correct answer is B. Equally distributed in 1 but not equally distributed in 2. Okay, a plant has 20 chromosomes in the leaf cell and they reproduce both bisexually and asexually. So how many chromosomes are present in gametes and in the cells resulting from asexual reproduction? So asexual remains same and gametes got half, so answer is B. What are the features of sexual reproduction? Genetically different offspring, so answer is D. Okay, which flower structure produces pollen? Anther. Which is the correct labeling? Okay, this labeling is quite confusing. I'm telling you, this labeling is quite confusing. Now take a good look at this one. Okay, this one is fallopian tube, I'm telling you. Okay, now you have to adjust your organs. Okay, what is the other name of fallopian tube? Oviduct. So it can be B or it can be D, right? Okay. Now, what is 2? Is 2, okay, 2 is bladder given for both. 3 is urethra for both. 4 is this. Okay, let's move to this one. Okay, this cannot be correct. 4 and 5 can't be same. So logically, if we see it logically, the answer is B. Okay, I'm telling. Okay, this one is vagina and this one is cervix. Okay. Okay. The diagram shows the fetus in the uterus. Which structures are essential for feeding, and which structures are essential for supporting and protecting? Okay. Q and S are for supporting and, okay, this is the only answer we have. P and R are for feeding. Yes. So this one is umbilical cord and these one are the network of blood vessels through which it gets all the nutrients. Okay. Next one, which statement are correct? Each chromosome contain one molecule of DNA. Yes. Wait, yes. Each chromosomes contain one molecule of DNA. Wait. Each chromosome contain, exactly, chromosome. Okay, DNA wrapped into a chromosome. So each chromosomes contain a molecule of DNA. Okay. A gene is a section of DNA on chromosome. Yes. A gene is a section of DNA on chromosome. Yes. It's the definition of gene. A gene contains smaller regions called alleles. No, allele is the alternative version of gene. So this one is incorrect. 1 and 2. I guess you have eaten a lot over the year. Is exactly. Yes, yes. Okay. The diagram shows the inheritance of allele E is for having an extra finger, while the dominant, okay, the recessive is the extra finger, and the dominant means the normal number of fingers. What are the genotype of person M and N? Okay, again, it's a recessive. Wait, where is A? It could be both homozygous recessive. That's why I'm saying you have eaten a lot. Okay, so you are saying it's why? Why do you think so? Dominant. Okay, so this one is dominant. So you are saying this one has a bigger impact. So this could be the answer. Yes. 3 flasks were set up at 35 degrees Celsius. Each flask has a balloon attached to the top. Okay, there's an inflation. And what is the correct order? Okay. What should we like add first and second and third? Most to least inflated. Okay. In which balloon there would be more? It has the most one. Yes. Yes. And this should be third. So the order is 1, 3 and 2. A. Okay. There's certain pyramids given. Which one is correct for number and biomass? Okay, now biomass is quite easy. Like if their base is wider because there is more producer as compared to consumer, the tertiary consumer, it's gonna be 2. Okay, biomass is 2. Now tell me about the number. Which one do you think is the number? Yes, yes. Hmm. Tree, exactly, tree, insects, and then birds, or maybe the other one. So it's 2 and 3. C. Okay, the fossil fuel used as an energy resource today developed from an animal and plant remains buried million of years ago. What was the initial source of energy in these fossil fuels? Sunlight is the ultimate source, absorbed by the producer is the first one. Which term describes the number of different species living in an area? Okay, this is not ecosystem. Ecosystem is made up of both living and non-living. Okay. Dif- Population is the like number of similar like different oh different members, sorry, number of individuals living in an area. Community is different populations. Okay, so when we talk about different species, mean they're like there are many species, many populations, and they're interacting with each other. That one is biodiversity. Okay, what is the correct order for, I guess, eutrophication? I guess this is eutrophication, yes. Okay, once the nutrients, let's say nitrates, flow into the river, there would be increased growth of algal bloom, right? This could be the first one, so answer is already given, D. Okay, then let's see what will happen after that, because die, due to which there would be more decomposers, that is C2, and then because of they use oxygen, so there would be lesser oxygen available. So answer is D.